Come on in, come on in. Come on in. Come on in, my friend. I ain't gonna be here long because I got a speech to do over at Top Golf for Black Music Month and Juneteenth. Come on in here. We're gonna have a funky good time. Do, 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 do. I should roll 2 blunts because I want to be real high when I go speak today at Top Golf. Come on in here, chat. Check in with me when you come on in. Check in, let me know you're here. We're gonna have a funky good time. Down, 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 down. Come on in here. We're gonna take you high, yeah. What's up, Biz Marty? Man, I gotta hear that song. Black History Month. Funky good time. Funky good time. Yeah, happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. Yeah, I'm gonna roll 2 blunts. Because I want to be real high before this speech. I want to be real high before this speech. So what y'all talking about? It's Juneteenth. You know, I want to first send a shout out to the people of Texas, specifically Galveston, Texas, for preserving Juneteenth. I, for one, was never a huge celebrator of Juneteenth because I don't believe in celebrating till the job is done, and we're not free yet, so I don't, but as I've gotten older, I've learned how to celebrate along the way because you must always leave some time for refreshment. You must always have time to celebrate. Y'all, you must always take time to celebrate. You must always take time to smell the flowers along the way of the journey. So Juneteenth is a day for us as a people to smell the flowers along the journey, while at the same time pissing other people off. Because y'all know other groups do not like when we on top. Other groups, unfortunately, and this ain't cool, man. I don't like it this way, But for some reason, other groups seem to be getting mad when we minding our own goddamn business and being successful. The evidence is not only like places like Tulsa and Wilmington, but also in modern America today too. You be around a whole bunch of black folks minding your business. If somebody else comes around, they always got to come around snooping and asking questions. It'd be like, dude, I don't dislike you, but man, if we saw this, we saw that. Y'all sure the fuck can't leave us alone. Y'all ever notice that? People talk a lot of shit about black folks, but they sure the fuck can't leave us alone when we minding our own black ass business. And that's what I mean by taking a day like today, Juneteenth, as a day to piss everybody else off. Because all we got to do is mind our own business and people get pissed off at us. And that's sad. That's sad. But since that's a sad reality, we might as well take advantage of it and piss these niggas off. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. Let me know y'all in here. Hit the chat, hit the like button when y'all come up in here. Hit the like. Hit the there we go. I'm gonna be muting myself. Voice isolation. All right, that's good. All right, cool. So what's up, everybody? AW1 clock letter J. Yeah. So letter J, I saw you had a birthday on Facebook the other day. Happy birthday to you. Somebody said, was I in a new movie? I ain't been in no. I was in Microphone Check, the documentary. As far as acting movies go, I don't be doing them like that. Acting is one of those things that kind of annoy me. I would do it for the right amount of money, but you have to pay me a whole lot of money to act. All my friends do sketches and shit, and all them niggas is internet famous now. But acting requires you to sit. Acting requires you to sit around and do nothing for too long. I'm too fucking impatient for that. I'd have to get paid a lot of money to do that. Other than that, I'd rather not act. But yeah, but going back, what's up, Martell Magic? Yeah, I was in yeah. Somebody said duck your head and try not to get hit by a stray. You know. Now, if you want some, anytime I open my mouth, my point is to spur some kind of critical thinking. So you can get a critical thinking right here on this channel, right here. A hip hop movie, yeah, I did Microphone Check. Tariq's documentary, I was in that, yeah. I was in that. But back, and salute to everybody that saw Microphone Check. That was a dope documentary Tariq put together. Tariq Nasheed put together an extremely dope documentary, Microphone Check. The origins of hip hop history. All right. All right, now that I'm done rolling, I can talk to y'all. Yeah, that was a great movie. Somebody said might be too tight. Nigga, I know how to roll a goddamn blunt. Does this look too tight to you? That look too tight to you? Somebody said because there wasn't any music of the culture. Music of what culture? Yeah, it wasn't no outing. Now you're right about that. Microphone Check was not about music of any island culture, any Latino culture, any non-American culture. That was about Black American music called hip hop. And on this Juneteenth, we celebrate hip hop, funk, rhythm and blues, and all the different forms, genres of music we as Black people created that the rest of the world enjoys. And some people like Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, they like to lie and steal. But thank God there's enough of us out here that won't allow these weirdos to steal our culture, steal our music. You dig? You dig? You see, am I going to ever do a show again? Probably not. Nigga said Busta Rhymes' hairline is fake. I don't know what's on his head, but I know Busta Rhymes, he been real quiet since Microphone Check came out. He ain't been talking that black people, black Americans. You notice Busta Rhymes ain't been talking that black Americans ain't got no culture bullshit, has he? Somebody said I'm saying that because of Tariq. My documentary dropped 7 months ago, dickhead. The fuck you mean I'm saying that because of Tariq? You better get your face out your mama's coochie and see what's really going on in life. You go back to my Facebook 10, 15 years ago, I was talking about this shit for 2 likes. But on my Twitter 10 years ago, I was talking about the black American roots, the hip hop being rooted in jazz and blues and funk and R&B. I was saying that shit 10 years ago to 1 retweet. Just because your dumb ass is late to the party. I be hating that shit. Niggas be like, just because you seen somebody else first, because they got a bigger platform doing something, don't mean they was first to do it. Fuck out of here. And it don't even matter who was first. I'm glad Tariq is doing it because this platform is way bigger than mine. So when I filmed my documentary back in 2022 and released it in 2023. My documentary was filmed and completed before Tariq said he was going to do Microphone Check. Bitch. Niggas be late to the party and then when it be like, somebody else is doing it. Trying to cause division between black men. I don't respect niggas like that. And chat room, notice niggas do that shit real slick. They don't come in and be like, well, see, in the old days, they would just come out and troll, be like, you stole this, you did that. They don't do that no more. They be like, respectfully, what I'm trying to say, no, I can see through respectful. We don't draw division between black men. Not in this chat room. Not unless they've done something to hurt other black people, like Jay-Z and Puffy. Niggas like that hurt black people, then they fair game. But you see 2 black men that did a project together, you don't come in trying to say, play one against the other. You say, thank you for the work, and you get the fuck on. Men don't try to play men against other men. That's whole shit. What's up, Aries? I just made you a mod, Aries. Diddy is somebody that corrupted music 30 years ago, and his corruption of music spread over into his corrupt life in other areas that now he has to pay for. Diddy fucked music up with that whole 2-bar sample coming over to R&B. That was some shit that he was at the front of with Real Love, but when he was on Uptown Records. Then when he went over to Bad Boy, Diddy, and under his direction, they made the 2-bar loop a standard in rhythm and blues, which ultimately killed off rhythm and blues because it took away all of the beauty within the rhythm and blues. Yeah, appreciate that, Aries. Oh yeah, you had to subscribe. I've said that about Diddy. Yeah, people don't want to tell. See, people like Diddy is worth all that money and he has all that fame. And most people are impressed by money and fame. Money and fame don't impress me for shit. I mean, I was at the Hollywood Bowl this past weekend, man. I didn't even show a picture. I showed y'all some pictures yesterday. It was some dope people around, not only where we were sitting, but when I went to go walk, because I'm always exploring and I'm always walking. And I ran across some very dope ass people. But you know, at the end of the day, they're just people. They're great at what they do. They make a lot of money, but they're just people. And when you see people doing fuck shit, them having a lot of money shouldn't stop you from calling it out. You niggas will call out your cousin real fast. You calling somebody broke doing some fuck shit. What the fuck you scared of somebody calling out somebody rich doing some fuck shit? You act like them rich niggas gonna give you money. Them rich motherfuckers are the most selfish people on earth. They ain't giving you shit. They ain't gonna give you no money. Them niggas, if they had a chance, ain't gonna give you an opportunity. So what the fuck you be over there supporting them like that for? That's how a lot of these dudes are. That's how a lot of these dudes are. I'm smoking on a gumbo. I'm down. I gotta reorder tomorrow. I gotta reorder tomorrow. I got some more upstairs, but this is my gumbo. I'm down to my gumbo. I got some more in this can, but I don't know what I'm smoking on. This is a mix. Yeah. Yeah, dive the caption. Yeah, this Juneteenth is the day that pissed them off, man. Shit. They don't like when we celebrate June. They don't like when we celebrate Juneteenth. They don't like anything. The non-black people and a lot of black people. I gotta keep just saying non-black people. A lot of Negroes. A lot of us. Those of us who love ourselves, we're the minority. We're the few. Those of us who love ourselves. Those of us who love our culture. Those of us who spend time studying our culture. And when it comes to that, those of us that do that, you know, we're the rare. We're the few. Most people just follow the program. And the program is a very anti-black program in America. And that includes, unfortunately, a whole lot of black people, too. What's up, Mama Zeke? And they don't like it. I'm really saying, happy Juneteenth, my coworkers, and they got a bunch of weird looks. Yeah. I've read a few on between Facebook and Twitter, like, not so much Twitter, because Twitter's mostly just kind of everybody, but Facebook, a lot of people on Facebook still people like I know. Same thing on Instagram. And I follow people on Facebook and Instagram that I generally, a fair amount of the people in my algorithm are people that I know offline too. Not all of them, but a cool amount on both Facebook and Instagram. And people I know were talking about being at work today and how like the Juneteenth events were like eerily quiet. I was getting a lot of that. I was supposed to do a speech at Sony Music this past Thursday that got canceled last minute because my speech was on Black Music History and Black Music Month, and they were like, "Oh, you guys can't use the speaker system because." But the previous week they let the Pride thing go on, so. But shouts out to Top Golf for allowing me to speak to the employees today. Let's see how many employees show up. Yeah, so Nick Bentley asked, do I ever think about what that smoke is doing to my lungs? Yes. It's doing the same thing your mama's pussy juice is doing to every man's face she sits on. It's giving them life. That's right, Aries. F them people that can't support our culture. F them. If they can't respect our culture, that's how I look at it. If somebody can't respect you for you just being you, like they'll say all day, you know, you gotta love and stop the hate. I respect gay people, whether or not, because I don't care about their sexuality. I respect them because they're humans. I respect trans. I respect Latinos or Latinos. I respect Caribbeans. I respect South Americans, Africans, Australia. I respect everybody if you're human. I just respect. And it's cool when I see people operating in their culture. That should be dope as fuck. I get to learn something. You learn things when you see people operating in their culture. I respect that. But I don't respect somebody trying to put a foot into my culture, especially when the majority of them, for the most part, be very disrespectful towards my culture. We still haven't gotten an apology from those city councilmen here in LA that redistricted USC out of the black neighborhood and took away a large part of the tax base for the last remaining black neighborhood in LA. And they were saying that they moved it based on color lines. Them Latinos turned. You didn't have Fat Joe, no prominent Latino come out and denounce those Latinos in the city of LA that did that to us. So you can't speak out to people that fucked us over. But when it's time to party with us, we're the same culture. Don't work like that. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. Either we all gonna love and respect each other, or we're gonna go in our corners. I would rather love and respect. I would rather have honestly, the idea of people coming together and combining their strengths and being unified, that's the best idea to me. If the 99% were unified against the 1%, if we can at least get 50% of the 99% unified against the 1%, we can go a long way to where we'd all have adequate resources. Racism wouldn't need to be a thing because Earth provides for us all. There's enough for the Asiatic, for the Negro, for the Caucasian, for the Taino, for the Mongoloid. It's enough for the American, for the American Indian and the Native American. Those are two different groups of people, by the way. There's enough for us all. But there's a 1% of people who uses race and culture to divide us all. And the people who benefit from the division, those of a lighter skin tone, although they know they're under an oppressive system, under a wealthy 1% elite, they gladly take the trade-off of shitting on us so they can have a few more benefits in this world than they do attacking the elite that's oppressing us all. So that's why I can listen to somebody like Alex Jones or somebody like that. They're right when they talk about, the elite and all that. And them white supremacists and white ringers, they are exactly right when they talk about the Bilderbergs and the Vanderbilts and all these rich companies. They write about all that shit. But the reason why I have an issue with coming together with them is what they've shown throughout history is when it's time to actually do something about it, the wealthy elite just give them a few more trinkets, and then they're satisfied by those few more trinkets, and they go back to attacking us. Never forget the lessons of Wilmington, Delaware, 1898. In Wilmington, it wasn't just Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was also Wilmington. In Wilmington, black people democratically elected a government, mayor, city council, and all that stuff. And the white people of the town did not respect the election. So they kidnapped the governor so the governor could not call the National Guard. And white towns from all around came in and chased those black people out of Wilmington. And they gave them a couple days of leave, but they didn't actually give them a couple days of leave. Later on that night, as black people were leaving, you had white supremacists in the dark sitting in trees picking black people off as they were running out of Wilmington. Out of Wilmington, Carolina. And that came in 1898, just after the 1892 Populist Party swing. In the late 1890s, early 1890s, late 1880s, there was a political party called the Populist Party. And the Populist Party that was renamed as was commonly known as a Popular Party. The Populist Party was poor whites and poor blacks and the new Chinese, and people, the new Greeks and ethnic whites. So back then, all white people weren't white back then. You had the Anglo-Saxon, but the Anglo-Saxon, the Greeks, Irish, Italians, at this time, they're not considered white yet. They're ethnic. They are in the same sort of racial stratification that the Latino and the Asian is in right now. The Latinos and Asians are proxies to white, but they're still not, even though they can classify themselves as white, technically on paper, they're not white. So that's what Germans, Italians, Irish, Greek, that was their social stratification at that time. And they united with the black people to create the Populist Party. And the populist agenda started to take root and take control as you got into the 1890s. But what happened was white supremacy saw that. And so what they did was they allowed, that's when you had these whites only unions. That's when these whites only unions formed around this time in the 1880s. And these whites only unions started bringing in white people or people that was classified as quasi-white. And as soon as they got in those unions, they turned around and turned their back on the black people that they were working with. As soon as they got their corporate jobs, they started getting some more work in the late 1890s. And so as the economy got better for them, they turned their backs on us. The same thing happened with Bacon's Rebellion. We can go back to when the whole racial stratification started in the 1690s. Something about them damn 90s, at the end of centuries. It's always some kind of culmination of racial unification or something like that. But 1690s, 1890s, and in some ways the 1990s. You know, we was playing in the 90s, we were the MTV generation. They were telling us no color lines, no hate. You know, hip hop is going to bring us all together. That's what they was telling me as a kid back in the 90s, you know. But back in the 1690s, you saw the same thing. You know, it's like every single time non-black people have united with black people, the powers that be, the rich 1%, the wealthy elite, they give a little bit more power and a few more resources to those not classified as black. They did the same thing with the Indians and the Cherokee, and when it came to the Indian Wars, they was fighting against each other. The Americans was getting their ass kicked by the black Indians. They go pay the red Indians, who are at one point we were all part of the same tribe. They always use buffer classes to use their work. So although I know we're in this together as a people on a lot of levels, although I know on a lot of levels, you know, when it comes to racism and what we're dealing with, although I know that those other groups are oppressed too, although I know that the government and is a buffer class between us poor folks and the wealthy elite, I know all that. I agree with Alex Jones and them right ringers with all that. The difference is when it comes time to do something about it, those guys every single time have taken the money and fucked us. Every time. Because humans, it's natural. Humans take the path of least resistance. And so when same thing with the high class Negroes in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. You know, it started out as a fight in the 50s and the 60s, but then by the time you get to the late 60s, white supremacy started buying off Negroes, sent them to college, gave them a good liberal arts degree in the 60s and the 70s, and turned them into buffer class niggas. That's why Howard University was founded. That's why Fisk University was founded. On this Juneteenth, go look up the history of Fisk University and Howard University. Both were founded by slave masters that had mulatto children that were too black to go to Harvard, but too light. They didn't want them associating with them dark-skinned militant Negroes at Tuskegee, because you had cats like, you had Booker T. Washington down there talking all that pro-black shit. So they definitely weren't going to allow their kids to go to those schools. So they created universities like Fisk and Howard for mulatto upper-class niggas to be educated to rule over the lower-class niggas. Somebody says, do I know there are kids in alive? Fuck them. Your kids see worse shit happen. Kids see worse shit happen at home with they sorry ass parents than they gonna hear from me cussing. And from my point of view, all my years working with kids, it be the parents that don't want to expose their kids to cussing. They don't want nobody else. You can't watch this movie. You can't watch that movie because it's too. You can't watch a rated PG movie because it might be too violent. Those be the main parents that be acting a whole ass in front of their kids. Those be the parents that be gossiping about the daddy. The daddy ain't around. Your daddy ain't no good. Your daddy was supposed to get the milk and he didn't get the milk. And your daddy this and your daddy that. And then y'all when the kid come home, the daddy be having WrestleMania 19 with mommy. Y'all niggas be evil to each other. Parents be just mean to each other. Mama's backbiting her husband. The husband backbiting the mama. And all this shit going on. And y'all be like, but don't cuss around my kids. Man, your kids ain't shit. If your kids can't take me cussing, that means your kids ain't gonna grow up to be shit. All right? You better put some thick skin on them little motherfuckers, because they're about to face a real world when they get out there. You gotta understand, they're only kids for a short amount of time. The rest of their life, they grown, and they gotta confront their problems on their own. They won't have you there to help. So you may as well get them used to it now. I'm so glad my dad exposed me to everything. No surprises. I had no surprises when I got out to the world. My dad would cuss in front of me. Hell yeah, my dad cuss. Nigga be cussing after the Laker game, but let me try to cuss. Pop! Oh! It takes that. It takes that. That teaches kids context. When you can do something that they can't do. That tells them there's a time and place for everything. You see, like, the people in here with the unfunny jokes, they don't understand time and place. The people in the comment section that's trolling, these are kids that walked in to their mama getting dug out by the nigga standing in front of the liquor store every Friday. These are the people whose mamas got dug out by the security guard at the trailer parks for the white boys that's in the room. Like they walked into their trailer and they saw their mama getting run through by the security guard, the guy that worked the front gate at the trailer park. And they've been traumatized. And that's a nigga that's been working that front gate at security. So they've been so traumatized by niggas, they come up in my chat room trolling. Because they walked in on a nigga digging their mama out at the trailer park. Well, blessings to everybody in here. Blessings to everybody in here. Somebody said, no, English is our mother tongue. I reject that English is not our mother tongue. If you were born speaking English, and if that was a primary language taught to you, it's your mother tongue. English is a script that the letters in English is a script that comes from the Middle Nature, by the way. And England, you have to understand, the English monarchy Up until the 1500s was Negro. There are hundreds of thousands of languages. Whatever our mother tongue when we first came to Earth was, is a language that no longer exists. Whatever our mother tongue is, it's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years older than Hebrew or any of the Arabic languages. No words has a capacity to express how you feel sometimes. Because in all languages, words are only 8 to 10% of communication. We're still mostly animals. Words are such a small part of how we communicate. Words are an extremely small part of how we communicate as people. Remember that. Words are only 8 to 10%, 6 to 10%, depending on where you are, of all communication. English is definitely our mother tongue. Especially if both of your parents are born here in America, your grandparents are born, you could trace your language, your lineage back. If you've been speaking the same language for 5, 10 years, 100 years, 200 years, that's your mother tongue. Don't let these. I remember I used to say that stuff though back in the 90s and the 2000s. I'm not gonna act like I always thought like this. I used to always say English isn't our mother tongue. I remember hearing Malcolm X say that, and I would hear cats from the 5% Nation say that, and it made sense. But then one day I asked, okay, if English isn't our mother tongue, what is? And then I went to college, and I got my degree in communication studies and a minor in cultural anthropology. And in comm studies, you really get to see what language really is. And language is a conspiracy between two people that requires both body language and tone of voice to understand what the other's communicating. Even when it comes down to speaking, the words oftentimes don't matter as much as the feeling behind the words. That's why you can look at a baby and say, "You ain't shit. Your mama don't even know who your daddy is. Your mama don't know who your daddy is. Booga 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 booga." Do that to a baby. They gonna be laughing. Your mama ain't shit. Your mama, you could be one of 15 niggas. Booga 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 booga. That kid gonna be laughing. The same way you can look at a baby and say, "I love you. You're the best thing ever." Look, and you start screaming it. But if you scream how much I love you, that kid's gonna be very afraid. Because it's not about what you say, it's about how you feel when you say it. Same thing with music. Music, the words matter the least. Most of the time, you listen to Earth and Fire, you gotta go back and read their lyrics because Maurice White is great at mumbling some words. It's the feeling that gets transmitted. So yeah, embrace English as your language. Because if that's the only language you know, that's the language your parents know, grandparents, great, that is your mother tongue. And you do have the ability to interpret it. That's why words have multiple meanings. That's why our music has double, triple, quadruple entendres. And we as a people, we can pick right up on it. We'll pick right up on them double and triple entendres. Because it goes bigger than English is our native tongue. We got Korea up in here. But I gotta go speak at Top Golf now. I'm gonna go trim this beard up real quick. I'm gonna get this fuzz off. I gotta go speak on black music history at Top Golf. Oh, that's you, James, and that music group with the Rolling R's. Yeah, they mad at that. They mad at me. I'm like, if you gonna have Latino culture in hip hop, then why ain't y'all softening y'all T's and rolling your R's? That's a cultural mark. That's a marker of cultural influence. When you bring your dialect of a language into something, that is your cultural imprint on whatever you're bringing. But if you don't bring your dialect into whatever culture you're coming into, you're not imprinting your culture on those people. You're amalgamating and you're assimilating to their culture. If any of these people just took a basic anthropology 101 class, just a junior college level, and matter of fact, go on YouTube and just look up anything breaking down cultural anthropology and how to trace cultures. I'm giving very elementary level. That's why they so mad. I'm tying what I say into very rudimentary science. So yeah, I appreciate that, Dexter. Hell yeah, I'm gonna catch that K-Dot pop-up show. My speech ends just right at the same time that K-Dot show begins. I actually have to drive past the forum where the K-Dot show is. I gotta drive past there to get back to watch it. But I gotta get going now because I gotta go in and speak to the people. All right? All right, Amir. All right, Carl. Y'all have a good one. Everybody else in here, Andre Edwards, LaDrona Hicks. Appreciate y'all for listening.